Hello everyone, Moore here. Today I will be giving you my opinion on why I believe human rights don't exist. Now, this is a very broad, or I should say a very ballsy statement to make, but I feel like I can prove it, or not necessarily prove it, but get you to at least think about it in the way that I'm thinking about it, and share my insight and my viewpoint on the matter. Now, I guess the best way for me to do this is to give you a quick scenario. Now, imagine our world today as it is, wherever you reside in the world, wherever you reside in life, wherever. Today, the government and society just fell apart. The government, there's no more constitution, there's no more wherever, there's no more parliament, there's no more nothing. Nobody tells you what to do. Nobody can enforce anything upon you. You are a free spirit by every notion. Do you think you'll survive? How long do you think you'll survive? How do you think about how that may be? You can pause the video and really sit down and think about it, because I really want you to say, actually, after once you sit down and think about it, go off the video. I don't want you to spend a whole day thinking about it, or meditate over it, because I feel like this will really give you a lot of insight about yourself, and really better help you understand what I'm gonna say after this. Now, also, really think about it. That means grocery stores will probably not really exist. So how will you get food? Or if anything, people will just go into the grocery stores first day and just steal all the water, steal all the food. You gotta be first, right? Let's just assume you're first, right? Let's say you get the food, you get the water. Okay, boom, you got food and water for however long that may last you. Now, think about when you actually have to, if there's any threat. Actually, no, there is no threat. It's just humans. Do you still think you'll survive? Do you still think you'll have a good time? And I say a lot of you know. Because, to be honest with you, our laws and our rules and our constitutions and all these other socially constructed things are all in the name of protection for a certain group, and all in the name of protection for whatever group that law protects. And believe it or not, you watching this video belong to a protected group. It's funny that I say that, because usually protected groups are people of some sort of indigenous or some unique quality, but all it takes to be considered a protected group nowadays is just changing your gender, or just changing the I don't know, the length of your hair, or the size of your chest, honestly. Changing your hormones, or actually it doesn't even take all that. It really just takes the changing of pronouns, and then you're automatically a protected group. Literally go on Twitter and put I don't know, they them in your bio, and boom, protected group. That's under society, by the way. Now take away society and there are no protected groups. Gay, black, Asian, straight, whatever you are, you're no longer protected by anything. So all the hate that will come, that you feared about being who you are, and all the hate that comes with being who you are, there's no protection from it. There's no movement, or there may be a movement to stop it, but it's just words. Your movement is just words. None of you can actually take action. Most of us will not survive, because most of us have put ourselves in a protected group category, and even without that protected group category, just being in a society puts us in a quote unquote protected group. Like I said, we're taking away laws. We're taking away things that protected us and helped us and aided us to live a better life. And without these things, what happens? How do we, like, like where it kind of seems like dark almost, yeah. Well, like, the easy answer is like, oh, well, I'll just find food, or like, I'll just protect myself if anybody try to, that seems like the easy answer. But I want you to go deeper. How would you protect yourself? How would you just find food? How would you, protect your loved ones? How would you go about that? And like I said earlier, I don't really think that these protected groups, or anybody for that matter, really has the means to protect themselves or really hold their own, because nobody cares about integrity today. Nobody cares about, holding themselves accountable or knowing how to do anything or really anything. People just care about what they look like, I guess, what they feel like. People care about everything but being the best they can be. People care about feeling the best that they can feel. And it's honestly just a lot of, basically what I'm trying to say here is that we're all weak. We all are kind of cucks. We really don't know how to do much on our own. And if we were, told to, or if we were forced to do things on our own, a lot of us wouldn't be able to do that. A lot of us want to be individuals. A lot of us want to be free spirits, or say that they're free spirits, or say that they're free, and say that they're not tied down by anything. But in reality, you are. In reality, you are. You are tied down by your society. What made me think about this is just the left, honestly, or just left or just society in general, like Twitter and people talking. And I noticed and you might think to yourself also, like, to debunk this point, well, like, why would government ever go away? Why would society ever stop? And it's because of you, actually. It's because of all of you NPCs who, say we need to take down this social construct and deconstruct this and deconstruct that. And all this deconstructing, what happens when you deconstruct everything? There's nothing left to deconstruct. Everything is already deconstructed. And what happens when you deconstruct society itself? The scenario that I'm talking about right now. And that's the big kicker here. The big kicker here is that you, or I'm not going to say you specifically, but people have this, I guess, tendency, I will call it, to be very about their identity, and very about all these social justices, all these human rights that we so need and have, or should have, or just basic human rights. And unfortunately, they're not these basic human rights. Once you take apart and you think, like, all these things that you're doing, deconstructing the social construct of marriage, or what a relationship should be, or what a marriage is, or deconstructing social classes and races and all these different things that you want to deconstruct. You might not think it has anything to do with that, but it has a lot to do with that. Because it can easily go in game, and once it goes in game, you will quickly see you are not equipped. You don't have the facilities. And that's all I just really want people to understand with this video. With this one in particular, like, I can go more in detail, but I feel like going any deeper requires you to be on the same page first. This may be me just overthinking it, but I feel like I've just been kind of all over the place with this video. So I just want to, try to finish off on like a singular point. And the point that I want to focus on the most, that I'm really just trying to like allude to the most here, is the fact that a lot of us have so many problems, and we've been forced to look at our problems by society because of this mental health thing. Just spreading light and trying to shed light on the trauma and trouble that people go through from things from just experience with family, experience in life, and giving each other a safe space, and to really talk about those things, and to really get down to the nitty gritty about them, and really just a space of love and care and tender and all that good stuff. But the problem is, unfortunately, no matter how we try to like look at life, the world is very much still evil and still have evil people. And that's the point I've been trying to get to this whole time, is that the only reason why evil seems like it doesn't exist, or bad things doesn't seem like it doesn't exist, is because we live in a time of peace, and we live in a time, fortunately, where we are under society. But all it takes is us to go through a revolution, and we quickly see how evil people can really get. I mean, you see it with war, and you see it with things all the time, and we've just never had to experience those things. A lot of you, most likely deal with some sort of mental health, whether that's depression, anxiety, whatever, all these slew of things that we could be dealing with. We deal with them, and what I'm trying to say is that in this world, to sit in those, which a lot of us do, and use those as I'm not gonna say as an excuse, but use those as a reason for why we don't do more, or get up, and just for our will to be weak. That's a very, it's just no good. What I care about is your integrity as a person, and how you survive, how you navigate. Because I have a therapist, so I've been diagnosed with things myself, or I've been told that I've had depression. I've had depression before. I've been said I could have a wee bit of anxiety, or I've been said, things in my past have caused this and that. I've been told what my trauma is. I've been told what what my problems are, and I used to sit in them. I used to wait for somebody please help me, somebody please love me, somebody please help me with this. And nobody was ever really there. Nobody came. It was just me. And I became my greatest villain. But also, with that note, when I started working jobs and being around people more, customer service and stuff like that, I realized the evil nature of people. I realized what people can get up to. I realized all the type of devious and very, very questionable things people like to do to people, even within the scope of society. And I just didn't like it. It made me feel some type of way. I always used to either feel sad or like hurt, like how could someone do this, and all these other different things. And I realized that these people are never gonna stop. This is how people work. And even if they stop, it's not stopping somebody else from coming and doing the same thing. So what I want you to leave this video asking yourself, or saying to yourself, is forget the why, forget the how, forget the how could they. Just prepare yourself and train yourself and really hone yourself, and that is a way that you don't get fucked. That is a way you don't get pushed over and taken advantage of and manipulated. there's no way you can be manipulated if if you know what to look for. If I'm not gonna say there's no way, but it can slow down. It can slow the process significantly. And stop the feeling of, dumbness or shame or whatever you feel after you get manipulated or whatever happens, or basically what I'm saying is, if you learn how to protect yourself from things, there will be no reason to feel bad for them happening. And you might think this is a flaw of logic, but the reason why I don't think it's flawed is because how can you talk about something? How can you be sad about something? How can you repent or whatever about something if it was never done? And it's like, oh, we can't control the things that happen to you. And I mean, maybe the first time, but once it happens to me, I can very well prepare for it the next time. And with that said, this is just my life. This is how I perceive it. You may perceive it differently, but just make sure that however you do perceive this life, it is one that you feel very confident in, and you feel as though is right for you. Don't let it be wavering. Don't question me, and you haven't even questioned yourself. And with that said, remember, do not take what I say for face value. Please live life and try to see if you come to the same conclusion as me, or close. And with that said, I hope all of you guys enjoy the rest of your day. That is it for me. Until next time, see you.